This is Liberty Under Attack Radio, hosted by Shane and Matt. Your place for documented truth and where freedom is the only agenda. We must end the terror war.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome across the Americas and around the world. You're listening to Liberty Under Attack Radio on the Freedom Phalanx Radio Network. LUA Radio is your place for documented truth, and where the only agenda is freedom. I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. I am your host, Shane, and I've got my co-host, Matt, with me. How's it going, brother?
All right.
Good to hear, good to hear. The call-in lines, if you want to call in and talk to Ralph, ask questions, whatever, the number to call in is 567-314-9296. There are no Skype lines open tonight. We do have two guests on, so there's nothing open there. So definitely use the call-in line if you do want to talk with us. The listen live line, if you're on a mobile device, call 712-432-4365, and you can listen from your mobile device. Also, if you've got something to add to the show, whether it be an article, whether it be whatever it may be, email Shane at libertyunderattack.com. And I have that open right now, so if you want to shoot something in, definitely do that. Would also like to plug the websites. libertyunderattack.com is the main one. I actually put a new feature on there. It's an email subscribe option on the main page of the website. If you want to receive updates, reminders, so on and so forth, definitely sign up for that. On Facebook, find us at facebook.com/LUA Truth. And definitely check out Matt's blog at endtheterrorwar.tumblr.com. So, on tonight's broadcast, we're joined by Ralph Epperson and Jay Cooper. The subjects will be the Masonic founding of this nation and the founding documents that were set up, that were designed to fail. If you tuned into LUA interviews on, I think it was January 7th, you've heard a portion of tonight's show, but it's definitely worth hearing again. Make sure to have a copy of the Declaratory Act. Make sure to have a copy of the Declaration of Independence and a copy of the Constitution in front of you. We want you to document this and see it for yourself. So, Ralph Epperson has been researching for over 50 years. He wrote the first book exposing Freemasonry in 1985 and has written many books and put together quite a few high-quality documentaries, a few of which can be found on the LUA YouTube channel. He was a guest on Bill Cooper's radio show in 1993 and has been featured on many radio shows since. He's on my buddy Robert Bruce's show, Waking Up the Masses, on Truth Frequency Radio quite often. Definitely go check him out as well. Jay Cooper will also be joining us. He's a devoted researcher and also one who studies the work of Bill Cooper. He's been a guest on multiple radio shows and has a solo death metal project called They Dwell Beneath the Temples, with lyrics based off of Bill's Mystery Babylon series. So, Ralph, Jay, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me this evening. I definitely appreciate you donating some of your time to spread some information. I definitely appreciate it.
Well, it's my pleasure, Shane. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Oh, thank you. It's a privilege to be on here with you and Mr. Ralph Epperson.
Awesome. So I just kind of want to... we'll go Ralph first, then Jay, you can go, or either way, whoever wants to go first. Kind of introduce yourselves, kind of give the listeners an idea of how you started researching, what woke you up, so on and so forth. So whoever wants to go first,
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, do you want to go ahead, Jay, or you're not? That's up to you. Well, anyway, I'll start. I started in 1963 reading at the request of a friend of mine, and I read a book called None Dare Call It Treason. And that got me started because I realized the author of that book was right. There's something going on that, and I was a college graduate, and I said I knew nothing at all about that, and that's what got me concerned. Because if these things had been happening, we should all know about them, and we didn't know, especially even in college. So I started researching in 1963. I started doing a talk show myself in Portland, Oregon, part-time, and but then I only knew probably 20% of what I know today. And then I started teaching at a community college part-time, and my lectures were all, I used sources and documentation when I, lectured. So my students kept saying, "You're going to put this into a book," because I was teaching them things they'd never heard before. So I said, I don't know anything about writing a book. And that was in 1973 to 74. So it took me 11 years to finally decide to write The Unseen Hand. For anyone who's interested in that book, may I suggest you go to eBay, type in The Unseen Hand, and read the 6 reviews. And know that I had nothing to do with those except write the book. I couldn't write better reviews than those 6, but that's all there are, 6 of them. You read them yourself, because one man said everyone in America should read this book. Another man said something to the effect that he thought it was the best history book he'd ever read. So that's what kind of thing people are saying about that book. And then I've written 3 more books, which we'll talk maybe during the program, that are pertinent to my continuation of my study. I've got 20 DVDs in my catalog. Shane mentioned some of them are on his website, and he's got some sort of link, I guess, with 4 of them, I think. Right now we're adding to that slowly, so that all of the ones I want will be at one location, and I could just say, go here to watch any of my DVDs, and that we're working on that. But if I will just say one more thing, this country is in very serious trouble. We are going someplace, and we are being led someplace. And Barack Obama knows where we're going, and that's why he's leading us. And what we have got to say today is really scary. But I'm sorry, I know I'm the messenger of some bad tidings, but unfortunately I'm not in charge of those bad tidings, and that's what we're going to talk about. Why are we in trouble? And then we'll give you some of the clues as we discuss it tonight.
Okay. Good deal, Ralph. Jay, what got you started? Kind of introduce yourself. Mention, let people know where they can find They Dwell Beneath the Temples as well. Make sure to plug your stuff. Go for it, Jay.
Okay. Well, again, it's my pleasure to be on here. I guess I began my journey as a truth seeker. I'll use that term, but listening to Alex Jones, and I began that by seeing his film called what was it called? Anyway, that famous film he did, Endgame. Anyway, so that's how I found that guy. I listened to him for about a year, and got all into the hype about the New World Order and stuff. And, of course, a lot of it is true. But then I got into, through some comment on Facebook, somebody mentioned Bill Cooper. And I looked him up. And I think the first thing I found was his interview with a Mason who infiltrated the lodge on his Mystery Babylon series. So then it led me into, I found his Mystery Babylon series. And I got so into it that I printed out the entire transcript and read the thing. I've almost read it 2 times over, and I bought a lot of his books on his bibliography. Haven't read them all yet, but slowly working on it. One book that really interested me that he mentioned was the Scarlet and the Beast by John Daniel. History of the war between English and French Freemasonry. And he quoted a lot of that on his Identity of the Beast and Identity of Scarlet broadcasts. But I'll plug my stuff. I have a music project called They Dwell Beneath the Temples, and I've enjoyed putting some of Bill Cooper's quotes from his broadcasts onto a few of my songs. He was such a talented speaker. It goes well with music. And he was a great inspiration for me to really start opening my mind to a lot of this stuff with the New World Order. It's theydwellbeneathtetemples.com. You can find the music. I have 4, I think, maybe it's 5 albums, including the first demo. But if you want the good sound quality, maybe the last 2 albums I did, the sound quality is, I hope it's okay enough. I worked pretty hard on the sound quality. But that is my website. That is my music. And that is all me on the instruments. And I'm looking forward to doing music in the future. And thanks again, guys, for having me on the show.
Not a problem, not a problem, and I definitely do recommend everyone go check that out. I've not had the time to listen to all of it, but I've listened to quite a few of your songs, and they're definitely good. And you're definitely a talented musician, and it's awesome you're incorporating the Mystery Babylon message and some of the things Bill said into your music. I definitely it's definitely important. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ralph, and he's going to get us started, get us introduced to some of these subjects. So, Ralph, whenever you're ready, take it away, man.
Thank you. I want to share with you very briefly, and to begin, there are two views of history. One's called the accidental view of history, and that holds that no one really knows why wars and depressions and revolutions start. They just do. And so no one knows about it in advance, and they happen, and then we have to go fight them or change them or whatever it is. And the other view is called the conspiratorial view, where the major events of the past have been planned years in advance by a worldwide conspiracy. And that's the view that I hold, and not only hold, I can prove. It's a matter of documentation. People call me a conspiracy theorist. That's a misnomer, and it's a lie, because I'm a conspiracy realist. I can prove and have proven that there's a 6,000-year-old conspiracy at work in the world. And I want to share one more thought while I'm at this point. Bill Clinton is also a conspiracy realist, but he's on the other side. Bill Clinton told us in 1992 on a nationwide speech he gave when he accepted the Democrat nomination that he was aware of an international conspiracy at work that already controlled the economies of the world, that they were their goal was to change the world and create a world government, and that he was in favor of it. And secondly, more importantly, about America, he said this international conspiracy, already control both political parties and have since about the 1920s. That means it doesn't matter if we vote for a Democrat or Republican. That man is supported by this conspiracy. So that's what we're talking about. We're going to try to discuss that today. This is where we are. This nation is in trouble because this conspiracy wants us in trouble. Now, I want to next define a couple of economic terms. One's called discretionary spending, and the other's non-discretionary spending, because what's happening in America today is exactly because of the difference between these two words. Non-discretionary spending, this talks about your income, whatever money you make. Your income is broken down into discretionary and non-discretionary spending. Non-discretionary spending means you have to make the payments. Your mortgage is an item of non-discretionary. Your taxes are. Your insurance on your car. Groceries, maybe not groceries, but other things where you have to make up your lights, your electricity. If you don't make those things, you lose your house. Your mortgage takes over. The bank takes over your house. So that's called non-discretionary. If you don't make your non-discretionary payments, you lose everything, and you have the potential to lose everything. Discretionary spending is everything else. That's the money you use to go see grandma, to buy a car when you want one, to buy gasoline, to go to a movie, go to the play, or go play Little League Baseball, or manage a Little League Baseball team, pay for the uniforms. The money that you spend on your own, you decide how to spend it. The purpose of this government today, and Barack Obama especially, is to reduce the amount of discretionary spending and turn it into non-discretionary spending. Already we've seen, the reports are coming out that the average American's income is down about $3,000 to $4,000. So in other words, they were making $60,000 a year. Now they're earning $56,000, let's say. And secondly, even the money that's left over has changed into non-discretionary spending. For instance, you bought your medical insurance if you chose to. That was a discretionary determination on your part. Well, of course, once you paid for it, you had to pay for it, but conversely, you could cancel it. You can't cancel your taxes. You can't cancel your mortgage. So government had to make that a non-discretionary spending, and that's what Obamacare is. It's intentionally intentionally moving your discretionary money into non-discretionary